Isaac from the Innovation Consortium, and today I would like to share with you about chains, what they are, what they do, but specifically today I would like to share with you about a common type, or the most common type of chain we use in the industries, that is the roller chain. I would like to define it for you, to tell you how to specify it and how to use it basically, and where we use it. The components I'm having with me here on the table, as you can see, these are what we call roller chains. If you ever came across a component like this, maybe on a motorbike or a car or anywhere in the factories or machines in factories or industries, manufacturing processes, this is what we call a roller chain. And what it is, maybe a simple definition of what it is. These are just links, a series of connected links with rollers, cylindrical rollers, and a pin to connect them together. To give a brief definition of what a roller chain is, it's just a series of links connected together. These are what we call links. One link, a second link, a third link. So it's a series of links connected together which transmit motion or power in machines. That could be from a drive end to the driven end. Take for instance, we talked of a motorbicycle. We've all seen motorbikes. They have a chain, which chain transmits power from the engine to the sprocket. So the engine is the driver, the sprocket is the driven. It could be a motor having a sprocket. With that sprocket, it's where the chain goes, or it meshes with the sprocket, then it transmits the power, the torque, from the motor maybe to the driven end. It could be maybe a machine. It has sprockets which drive chain. They could be slat band chains. It could be a rotor for maybe a silage machine or anything of the sort. So we are connecting power from a drive end to the driven end, but it's the chain to link the power from the drive end to the driven end. So basically, that's the basic definition of what a chain is. This is the component. If we are to talk about the different types of roller chains, they differ, but mostly they differ in sizes and in the material, depending on where it's going to work. You could find a chain made of hardened steel, another from stainless, and many other various types of material, depending on the material properties you need on that chain or on that transmission basically. So the other specification, it could be in the size of the links, from one link to another, or the size of the link specifically. It could be meaning the size of the rollers, the width of the links, and the width of the pitch actually, and the pitch of the chain or the link basically. So by the pitch, I mean the distance from the center of one pin to the other. That's the pitch. That's the first difference. We talked of the width of the rollers. This is the width from one end of the roller to the other end of the roller. Then the distance of the gap we are seeing between these two rollers. So if you have the pitch and the diameter of the roller and the width probably, so if you have two diameters, definitely if you have the pitch, you'll be knowing the gap in between these two rollers basically. So it's the size of the roller, the width, then the pitch from one pin, the center of one pin to the center of the other pin. So basically, that's how I can classify, or how we classify the different types of chains. It's by the size, the material, and basically where it works. So those are the specifications. Now, after knowing the basic definition of a roller chain, I would like to talk about the different types of chains basically, so that maybe you can know the difference, because you might hear someone calling another chain a chain, and you'll be like, Isaac told us this is what we call a chain. There are very many different types of chains, and to mention them, they are what we call the roller chains. The one I'm holding here is what we call the roller chain. They are what we call the leaf chains. They are what we call the flat top chain or slack band chains, and very many other types of chains basically. So, but today our main focus is on this roller chain, because it's the most common type of chain we use in the industries and any other manufacturing processes ideally. So after knowing the different types of roller of chains, we shall be talking about the specification of this very type of roller chain. How you specify a roller chain? It's by the dimensions of the roller chain itself, and by maybe probably the material in which the roller chain is being made out of. And the last could be the part number. You could consider also the part number of that roller chain. You can get the different size if you know the part number. So to start with explaining on the specification, to start by the dimension part of it, it has three main common dimensions we consider while choosing a roller chain. And one of it, it's the pitch of the roller chain. And by pitch, what do I mean? It's the distance from one center of the pin of the roller chain or of the link. It's the pitch from one pin of the link to the other end of the center of the pin. Hope I'm understood. The distance from the center of one pin to the other pin, that's the pitch of the roller chain. From the center of this pin to the center of this pin, that's what I mean by the pitch of the roller chain. So that's one specification of the dimension. And the other is the width, the inner width of the link. By the inner width, I mean the distance from the inside link plate to the inside of the link plate, end to end of these link plates of the roller. So how do we measure that? You can just place inside your inner calipers, inside these two inner plates or the links. The dimension you get, that's the width, the inner width actually of the link. The other dimension is the diameter of the roller. This is the roller we've been talking about. As you can see, it's rolling. It's the roller. So we consider also the diameter of the roller, basically. So once you have those three, the diameter we said earlier on, if you watched our series of how to, we talked about a vernier caliper. So the diameter of the roller, you can ascertain it by using a caliper also. Once you place the caliper onto the roller, you'll be able to know the dimension of the diameter of this roller. So it's the diameter of the roller, the inner width, end to end of the roller link plate, then the pitch from center of the pin, the center of the pin of the link, pitch center to center, then the inner width, then the diameter of the roller. So that's the specification according to the dimension. The other specification is the material in which the chain is being made out of. There are chains made out of hardened steel, there are chains made out of stainless steel, and very many other types of materials depending on the material properties you need in the transmission or the resistance you'd like that chain to accommodate, or any other factors. So it's the material, it's the other specification. We say there are those of steel, hardened steel, there are those of low carbon steel, there are those of stainless steel, and very many other materials. The third, we talked of a specification could be on the number of links joined together. So we have this type of arrangement. This is what we call a simplex. A simplex chain, but there are times you'll find a chain having two links joined in this format, but they are one in particular, but they are joined together to make one arrangement, or a series of two links, but when they are joined together, that makes it a duplex. We call it a duplex, or a double link chain. And the other, they are also what we call triplex. These are two, we call them duplex. Then triplex, meaning you have to add another link to make them triple links, actually, triplex. So they are joined, they can go to even as far as 10 or 20, depending on the load they are pulling or any other mechanical properties. So that is the other specification. To repeat again, depending on the series, this is one link, this is one link, it's a simplex. When we add them two, it becomes a duplex chain. When we add them three, as you can see, like these three, but when they are joined by one pin, take note, they should be joined by one pin. And one pin, they could be different rollers, but it's always one pin. So simplex, duplex, then triplex when they are three. It could be quadruplex when they are four, and very many others, depending on the load which you're pulling actually. So that's it for the specification. Ideal, I hope you understood the specification. And with that, after knowing the specification, the last part of it could be the part number, the numbering, which is normally embossed or engraved on these chains, depending on the supplier. We have this, it's a fanner. The fanner is the supplier, but this is a 12B chain. So whenever you find a 12B chain and you request it's having a 12B as the part number, if you request from the fanner as the supplier, you'll be able to get this very type of chain with the same size and the same dimensions. So it's the part number. This is a 12B, this is a 10, we have a 10, a 10B, then 8B, and very many others. The very many other part numbers written or engraved on these chains. So it's the other specification of the chain we have. So after knowing the specifications, the three I talked about, the main common specifications of the roller chains, I'll be adding on the fourth one, that could be the part number, depending on the supplier. So I have this type of chain, and the supplier is fanner. There are others. You can find chains from fanner, this very supplier. There are very many other suppliers. There is Movex, there are very many other suppliers. So according to the suppliers, this one, the very type we are having, it's from fanner, and it's having a 12B. So if you order for a chain and it's 12B from fanner, you'll be getting this very type of chain. If you're replacing, that is to say, you'll be getting this very type of chain, the same dimensions, same specifications, and the other specifications, it will be the same if you order by using the part number basically. These part numbers, you could ask where we get them from. These suppliers normally have charts where you can refer to after knowing the size, especially the sizes, the dimensions of the sizes. You go to the chart and confirm, and later on you are placing an order this very type of chain basically. So ideally, I hope that's it for the roller chains. I remain Isaac from the Innovation Consortium.